Welcome to the Run-inWrestling podcast, the only podcast that you need to listen to that's recorded from right here in the UK as we will be talking about the world of wrestling. I am your host Ryan, alongside me is...
Adam J. Pacitti. No, it's Matt. Hi.
We don't need to go into different brandings. They don't need to know who Adam Pacitti is. We'll keep everyone here for now because we need everyone as much as we can.
But it's Adam J. Pacitti.
If he listens to this and then probably looks into it, it'll be so funny.
We'll be screwed.
Anyways, so welcome. Thanks for listening in. This is our first podcast, so I can't really say if you're new here, check out our socials because you're not only new here, but we're new here as well. Wow. So we're going to hopefully be uploading this to as many places as we can. If you want to get involved and, check us out, it's Run-inWrestling on all of our socials. Everywhere you go, just check it out. There's nothing more I can say apart from that.
Do it. Like us on Instagram and tweet us on Facebook and book us on Twitter.
Yeah, do all of those things. The thing is, you was correct with Instagram, so I'm surprised you didn't mix up the other ones.
Well, no, it's followers on Instagram. Still.
No, didn't you say like?
I said like, but that.
But you can like our posts.
Followers, it would be easier to see our posts.
True, very true. Make sure you get involved with that. But for now, this is our first ever episode on Run-inWrestling podcast, and we're going to hopefully be doing these a lot more. But for now, we're going to be talking about the highs and lows of 2017 in wrestling, which is just, it's such a bizarre year in wrestling in many different ways, and we want to talk about the highs and lows because I think just trying to talk about it as a whole, really, you can't put into perspective how mental of a year this has been. And something that I want to start off with is something that I was going to challenge you on, Matt. And
don't challenge me. I'll win.
Okay, I won't challenge you. Okay, I won't challenge you.
Go on, challenge me.
It was it's a video that WWE have put out recently, and it's something that haven't watched as of yet, but you've seen the thumbnail, which kind of ruins it.
Yeah, it came out like an hour ago, so
from when we're recording. And it's 5 WWE superstars with the most wins in 2017, and obviously you can guess who 2 of the superstars are in there from the thumbnail.
AJ Styles and Sasha Banks.
Just as a hint, they're second and third.
We've already, let's be honest, this is our second time recording this.
Yeah, so the first one was Seth Rollins, and then tied in 4th, so it is 5 WWE superstars, but they technically only did 1 to 4, was Finn Balor, who I think is remarkable with this because he missed the first 3 months of the year due to injury.
Crazy.
Which is absolutely mental, and obviously the big dog Roman Reigns. Let's move on.
This is my yard. Believe that. Ow.
And I'm sorry, but that was the best promo of this year.
Oh no!
Stand
still 15 minutes inside a wrestling ring whilst the crowd literally would throw stones at him. Like they were stoning him with their boos. And he just said, it's my yard now.
And just walks off like a boss. I'm sorry, but that is the only time I've loved Roman Reigns this year, and it was the best thing to happen.
It was pretty good. It was very good. Although I still despise Roman Reigns for what we believe. Well, he's not retired The Undertaker because The Undertaker is coming back for Raw 25.
Which I still don't understand.
I totally understand. He's gonna be there, but what's he gonna do? Is he gonna be at the Manhattan Center? Is he gonna be at Barclays Arena? I don't understand. The only reason why he's got to be there is to either pass the torch, confront Roman Reigns, or just admit he's retired.
Well, apparently they've got a load of other WWE superstars coming back for it, but
John Cena, Becky Lynch is back from filming the Marine 5, so I'm assuming The Miz will be following shortly.
Probably trying to get his IC title back and finally put an end to the Miztourage just being on their own in lonely waters. But I do have to say they have been doing really well on their own.
Yeah, I like the Miztourage. Like, the Miz always seems to have the best team for himself. Like, Damien Mizdow. Just got a little text noise there. Sorry about that. I'll turn that on. Turn that off now. Anyway, yeah, like the Miztourage and Damien Mizdow. The Miz seems to be getting some good people on his side.
He certainly does. Let's kick off the year with what you brought up in the last one, the last recording we tried to do, and this was the UK title tournament.
Whoop whoop. Pretty cool.
So talk us through it, because you're the one that brought it up last time.
So Triple H in December announces this UK Championship tournament and announces the competitors, and the winner will receive the United Kingdom Championship tournament. Beautiful. Thank you, Triple H. It was incredible. In January of this year, the tournament takes place over 2 days in January in Blackpool. I believe it was the 15th and 16th of January.
14th and 15th.
14th and 15th, my bad. I was close with 15th and 16th, so I'll take it.
You was, yeah.
So, I'm going to go with the original lineup. Chris Tyler, Trent Seven, Danny Burch, Pete Dunne, Wolfgang, Jordan Devlin, Sam Gradwell, Tyler Bates, Saxon Huxley, James Drake, Tucker, Tyson T-Bone, Joseph Connors, Dan Maloney, H.C. Dyer, and Roy Johnson. Incredible lineup there of 16 the best UK competitors. Although at the very last minute it got switched out. Chris Tyler Mark Andrews was announced for the tournament, but they didn't really announce Chris Tyler was no longer in the tournament. So Mark Andrews took Chris Tyler's spot, and it was yeah.
Yeah, you say like the best in UK, the best that accepted. I would put to that.
Oh yeah, no, best that accepted, because we've got people like Marty Skull, Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
We've got loads of others. Jimmy Havoc.
Yeah, all very fantastic UK wrestlers, and all three made it onto our cheeky plug coming up, onto our top 10 wrestlers outside the WWE that you should know. If you want to go check that out, that's on all of our socials. Massively popped on Instagram. Quite a lot of indie fans loved it and got involved with it, so go check that out as well. Go see who our top 10 wrestlers are who you should know who aren't in the WWE. But speaking of the UK Championship, you obviously spoke about the wrestlers there. How many of them have you actually seen that were in that tournament?
Quite a few, and that was down to places like WCPW, what's called Defiant, Southside Wrestling, House of Pain Wrestling for one of them. And it was just incredible. I've seen Trent Seven, Mark Andrews, Pete Dunne, Wolfgang, Sam Gradwell, Tyler Bate, Saxon Huxley, James Drake, Tyson T-Bone, Joseph Connors, H.C. Dyer, and that is it. I have also seen Chris Tyler.
You say that is it. You say that is it. That's more than what I have. I'm probably only Tyler Bates, Joseph Connors, Pete Dunne, Trent Seven, and possibly just Wolfgang. And those are the only ones that I'd seen, because I'd only ever been to 3 indie shows, which was obviously House of Pain and then 2 WCPW matches. Obviously, WCPW.
It was incredible. It's been an incredible year for wrestling, and especially the UK scene, where we've been acknowledged as one of the best wrestling countries in the world.
Yeah, definitely.
I just want to point out it's gotten to the level that British wrestling is so there's a place in Grimsby. Let me just get this news up. Good old Grimsby. There's a place in Grimsby called British Wrestling Revolution, BWR, and it's gotten to the point in British wrestling now that this company is bringing wrestling back to Memorial Hall. Just to put, this venue has had the likes of Bret, the Hitman Hart, the British Bulldog, Andre the Giant all compete in this. So it's in March the 2nd, like BWR at Memorial Hall. Joseph Connors is the BWR heavyweight champion. Like, so it kind of ties in with what we're talking about. But it's just like incredible that British wrestling has got to this stage. But I'm just going to lay out a challenge right now. I was talking about BWR. Scotty Rourke, if you are listening, Scotty, fight me.
Okay.
Yep.
I have no idea who that is, but we're going to move on because as we were talking about the UK, we also
UK wrestling talk. So
yeah, why not? Maybe we'll get more into UK because this is the thing I said in the previous one, and I do mean this, is that my New Year's resolution is to go to more indie shows, is to go to more outside WWE shows this year, to go to Progress, to go to Defiant, to go to ICW, to go to any of these shows.
Well,
And
I'm just going to say this now. It's my birthday in May, Ryan. Progress have 3 dates at the Alexander Palace in London.
So what you're saying is you'll get a lot of birthday money and then we should go.
No, I was going to say I'll get loads of birthday money. You buy me a birthday present as the tickets and we should go.
I am your birthday present, so we'll both go together, pay for our own tickets.
No.
That's fair.
I want free tickets.
Tough. But as we were talking about the UK Championship, they are actually contenders for Match of the Year. Obviously, this was Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate at TakeOver Chicago just after Pete Dunne. British Strong Style. As Tyler Bate won the tournament, which we actually forgot to mention on the last one. He actually won it.
Yeah.
And Pete Dunne won
Dunne,
it at TakeOver Chicago.
It was Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate in the final of the UK Championship tournament. Everyone thought Pete Dunne was going to win there and then, which I would have preferred. But no, Tyler Bate won, and it shocked us all, which I thought was a nice surprise.
But then again, if Pete Dunne had won, would we have had the same match that happened at TakeOver Chicago?
Probably not.
No, maybe not. Anyways, as I said previously, this was the match that really got me into NXT, and people are going to hate me for this, but
they already do, Ryan. They already
probably
do.
That's fine. Carry on. As long as they're listening, then that's fine. That really got me into like NXT, and from there I've been watching it weekly ever since, and I don't know why I didn't watch it before, but now I've really got into it. But this was the match that got me hooked, and that was Tyler Bates versus Pete Dunne.
Ryan started watching May 2017. I started watching when it was Antonio Cesaro versus Sami Zayn in the 2 out of 3 falls match. So
it's weird when you say his whole name, Antonio.
Oh, that's not his real name. His real name's Claudio.
No, but like, it's weird for him to be known as that nowadays.
Yeah, it's like Rusev. Didn't he used to have his first name? Alexander Rusev.
Know. Probably. But he is the best thing to have happened in 2017. That he's not even on this list. Rusev Day is every day. So
happy Rusev Day, Ryan.
Happy Rusev Day to our listeners and to you, Matt.
Thank you.
I feel like we're going to have to start off every podcast with Happy Rusev Day!
Happy Rusev Day. I'm annoyed that it's not in the United States Championship tournament. Like, just quite annoyed with that. So.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more in a minute. But as we was talking about NXT, I feel like we should swiftly move on to Wargames, actually. And that was this year. That was probably one of the best pay-per-views.
First time in 17 years.
Yeah,
it was incredible. Like, I was very scared to how they were going to do it. Like, because obviously 2 rings is I thought WWE were going to basically just have 1 ring, change it back to 1 ring, Hell in a Cell, and then just put some like weapons alongside the cell walls. Like,
yeah, and the thing is, even if you step aside from the actual main match, if you look even just back at what happened, you had Pete Dunne who defeated Johnny Gargano, which was a fantastic match. You had Lars Sullivan versus Cassius Ohno, really good match. Velveteen Dream versus Aleister Black was possibly one of the best singles matches as well this year that I've seen.
I'm quite proud to say Velveteen. I I was very scared of some of Velveteen Dream because obviously we saw Patrick in Tough Enough and like he was a very cocky, young, arrogant guy. Obviously, since Tough Enough's come off like 2 years later, he's now kind of grown up a bit and he's actually found a gimmick that's working for him. Well done, Patrick.
Yeah, it was fantastic, but at the same time, really worried about if he ever makes it out to the main roster.
Oh, basically, if he ever makes it onto the main roster, he's another Tyler Breeze.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fashion Files with him would be actually pretty good.
Yeah, the Velveteen
Dream
Breezango Dream? I don't know.
We'll
see how that goes.
That could be their finisher, the Breezango Dream.
Yeah, could be. All three of them doing it as well. That'd be fantastic.
Like
also as well, you had the Andre Almas versus Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre obviously tore his bicep, so we wish Drew McIntyre a speedy recovery. But Andre Almas won that. It was an okay match.
I'm
not the best
a fan
match.
of Andre Cien Almas.
Pardon?
I'm not a fan of him.
No, I'm not a massive fan, but it happens. We'll move on for it. There is one match that I want to come to because it's a segue into another high or low. So let's move on to the main event, which was obviously the Wargames match, which was the Undisputed Era of Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly versus the Authors of Pain, Akema Reserve, and Roderick Strong versus Sanity, which was obviously Wolf, Young, and Killian Dane.
Good old Big Dame, eh?
Oh, it's just fantastic. Big man moving like that.
I was scared WWE were going to use him wrong, but no, they've used him right.
Yeah, we saw him obviously when he was Big Damo, and he was absolutely fantastic then. And they have used him really well now.
He is big, and his back is really hairy. It's hairier.
Same.
It's hairier in person.
But let's talk about the actual event and why it was such a high. And it was, Killian Dane came in and everyone was like, we want tables. And the thing is, with this match stipulation, everyone was like, it's going to be really awkward. It's going to be really awkward because no one knows the rules. But WWE did this really well. Everyone knew the rules. The commentators explained it really well. And as I said, when Killian Dane first got there, he, ate the key. I say this in quotation marks, not that anyone can see the fingers, but obviously he didn't eat the key, and obviously chains everyone in. Tables were people were put through tables. Garbage cans were chucked over people's heads. Killian Dane pretty much jumped off everything. I'm pretty sure Adam Cole jumped off the top after hitting the Adam Cole baby.
I love it when Nigel McGuinness does it because he adds a bit of British to it. Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah, probably sounds really cockney.
Yeah, and then you hear Mauro Ranallo just go, Mamma Mia!
Out of nowhere. But yeah, that was absolutely fantastic. The whole NXT pay-per-view was really good. But the reason why I left this match to last was something that I want to touch on, and it was Ember Moon defeated Nikki Cross, Peyton Royce, and Kairi Sane for the vacant NXT Women's Championship. Obviously left because Oscar vacated the title to move up to the main roster because she's still undefeated.
Sorry, when I did the last podcast, we got vacant's titles wrong at the end.
We'll leave that towards the end, and you can give us some stats about how good the character of Vacant actually is.
Love Vacant.
And the reason why I spoke about this last was because obviously Kairi Sane was the winner of the Mae Young Classic.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, there's some fantastic women in that, and one of them actually features, plug again, in our 10 best wrestlers who you should know outside the WWE, and that is Piper Navin, who is another big girl who, like Killian Dane, is big but can move like someone who's a smaller wrestler.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna just refer to her as Viper. That's what she's known as in the UK. If you are from America, listen to this, go, who the hell is Viper? I only know this Piper Niven chick. Watch ICW. Just watch it if you want to know what ECW's up to nowadays.
Or even just watch the Mae Young Classic matches. She was fantastic in that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But obviously, Kerrie Sane won, has that really high elbow drop, which was absolutely fantastic. And this is another high of ours, and that is the women's, women in general, not only in WWE, and I'll get onto WWE's in a minute, but also outside of WWE, because Ring of Honor at the last pay-per-view final battle announced Women of Honor.
Oh, this is going to be good. I reckon Brandy Rhodes is going to be the first Women of Honor champion.
It wouldn't surprise me if she was. It wouldn't surprise me if she wasn't, because they have such a so much talent. Not only obviously in Ring of Honor, because obviously those women wrestle elsewhere, but
let's talk about the Women's Royal Rumble, because this is the thing that's going to be new for 2018 for the first time ever. The women's version of the Royal Rumble. Who do you think?
Well, even before, but even before we get into that, can we just point out another high, and this is included in the Women's Royal Rumble, but women's history in the WWE, and this is where my segue was going to lead on to, which was the Women's Royal Rumble history that's happening soon.
Yeah.
That was announced literally only on the 19th of December. The Women's Money in the Bank match, which was on the 18th of June, and recently, I'm pretty sure mid-November, they had the first women's wrestling match in Abu Dhabi or Dubai, which was Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks. Absolutely historic moment.
Fair play. I'm going to go back to the Women's Royal Rumble now after you said all that. Oh, something's just dropped off my desk. Give me a second. There we go, it's back on it. No, what I was going to say was, who are you going for as the winner for the first ever Women's Royal Rumble?
Asuka.
Oh, okay. I'm going for a bolder one, which seems more likely to happen, I'm going to say. And I'm going to go with the baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey.
Oh, no. It would be the worst thing for WWE if she won. I'm sorry, but it would be.
No.
It would be...
She goes after Charlotte, and then creates the whole horsewoman thing.
Can I say, that doesn't need to happen yet. That could be a long-term thing. But do you know why this would be the worst thing to happen? Because they spoke about deeply on 19th December on that episode of Raw where Stephanie McMahon came out, where these women, not only here in the WWE at the moment, but the women in the past, like Trish Stratus, even going all the way back to Mae Young and that, who put up with hitting their heads on that metaphoric glass ceiling of not getting as far as the guys, and then for someone outside of the WWE to come in and win that Royal Rumble would be a massive kick in this terminology, the ovaries.
I guess, but is she really outside of the WWE? We know she's had training. We know she's been involved with WrestleManias before. Ronda Rousey is so involved with WWE. The fans want her. I want her to win. I want her to come in as a surprise entrant and win the goddamn Rumble.
Surprise entrant, yes.
But no, we've never had a surprise entrant win the Rumble. We've had surprise returning superstars, but a surprise entrant who isn't a wrestler, making their debut win. We've not had that, and that would be historic for the women. There's
a reason why they don't do that.
This is why I think when Batista returned and won the Rumble, they should not have announced his return. They should have just let him turn up and win the Royal Rumble. He would have got a massive pop. Was this the same year as him and John Cena went over at the same time? No. We're on about the 2014, just before Guardians of the Galaxy came out.
Cool.
Right. So, remember, anyway, this is long heat that I've had with the WWE. If you're listening, anyone from WWE, please just book something right, something that doesn't infuriate me. Please.
Let's move on now, because obviously we've just spoke about the Women's Royal Rumble, and we're going to talk more about our predictions possibly on our next episode. If you do want to see us, if you want to hear from us again, please let us know in the comment section, or even if you don't want to hear from us again, just say shut up. Leave it in the comment section as well. Something that I want to move on to, and I don't know where I want to go next. Do you want to pick where we want to go next?
Let's have a look at the list. Let's have a look at the list.
The list of running.
The list of running. The run-in list. And you know what? I'm just going to go with it because I feel like it's heavily hinted at now. New Japan Pro Wrestling. Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega. Wrestle Kingdom 12, January 4th, 7 a.m. UK time. So
yes, very, very big thing coming up. So Wrestle Kingdom, obviously, if people don't know, is obviously from New Japan.
It's New Japan's WrestleMania.
Yeah. It's like WrestleMania and Royal Rumble put together, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. It's the biggest event. Like, the Tokyo Dome can hold up to over 80,000 people. So, like, yeah. It's big.
It's huge. It is huge. So we're gonna talk about the whole Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega build up in just a moment, but I'm just gonna quickly run through the card, literally really quickly run through it before we talk about why we're giving this an up. And you've got the Young Bucks versus Roppongi 3K, which is for the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships of IWGP. You've obviously got the New Japan Rumble, which is like basically the Royal Rumble of their version, which I'm pretty sure is over the top rope and pin.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds about
and probably, right. Probably. It's like a Battle Royale and Royal Rumble put together. Then you've got a gauntlet match for the Never Openweight 6-man Tag Team Championship, which is Bullet Club versus Chaos versus Michael Elgin and War Machine. Very fantastic wrestlers tag team from Ring of Honor. You got Suzuki Gun, which is involves Zack Sabre Jr., who was also on our top 10 list of wrestlers who you should know outside of the WWE, versus Taguchi Japan. Match number 4 is Cody with Brandy Rhodes versus Kota Ibushi for just a plain singles match. Pretty sure it's one of the only ones that doesn't involve a title. It's the only one that doesn't involve some sort of title apart from the Rumble, obviously. Number 5 is Killer Elite Squad versus up with that name that I can't even pronounce. The last one, Los Ingobernables de Japón. I'm gonna say it's probably pronounced wrong. Yeah. That's for the IWGP Tag Team Championship. Match number 6, Suzuki versus Goto. Loser haircut and no seconds death match. Never open weight championship. Number 7 is a fantastic fatal 4-way for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, which is Hiromu Takahashi versus Kushida versus Will Ospreay and Marty Scurll. We involved both Will Ospreay and Marty Scurll in our top 10 wrestlers that you should know. Both possibly the top 2 out of, well, definitely in the top 3 best English wrestlers not in the WWE at the moment.
Yep, I agree.
Cool, let's settle that then. The next match is the IWGP Intercontinental, which is Tanahashi versus Jay White. Leaving at number 9 because that's the match, Alpha versus Omega match that we're going to talk about. Number 10 is the singles match for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, which is Okada. So this is Kazuchika Okada versus Naito, and which will be an absolutely fantastic match. You know, both of them can really hold their own. Both of them are absolutely amazing wrestlers. And if you ever go back to watch any of the Wrestle Kingdoms, Matt will probably tell you in a minute how good some of the matches are that come just from Wrestle Kingdom or New Japan alone.
Just some breaking news. Read a tweet. Tonight was historic. 0 to 150 from Curt Hawkins. Just for that's just been tweeted. Anyway, I'm gonna give a rundown of Wrestle Kingdoms and Chris Jericho Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, because both incredible wrestlers, and both historic wrestlers. So we'll start off with the older competitor, Chris Jericho, in his 40s. I think it's late 40s. Let me just quickly have a little gander. Yeah, Chris Jericho, 47 years of age, going against Kenny Omega, 34 years of age, both from Canada, both from Winnipeg. Both from Winnipeg. Here, this is the rundown. Chris Jericho, incredible wrestler, made so much history. No one ever thought he'd be back in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like he's been signed with WWE since 1999, I believe. It's been a long time. He's been there for like no one thought he would leave. Like we understand that he leaves to go on tour with his band Fozzy, incredible band. Check them out if you've not listened to them. But he leaves, comes back, returns with a new gimmick every single time. Incredible, like it's amazing. And some of the opponents he's faced: Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, some other greats. There's just so many. He's faced Roman Reigns and
Shane McMahon.
Shane McMahon, yes, Kurt Angle. Literally, he was the first ever WWE Undisputed Champion, holding the big gold belt and the WWE Championship. It was incredible, historic. Everyone was like, yeah, it'll be The Rock, yeah, it'll be Stone Cold, yeah, blah, 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 blah. But no, Chris Jericho, incredible, one of the best wrestlers in the world. He's faced people like CM Punk as well. So it's not the first ever best in the world match, which he's kind of going at again. Like, I'm the best in the world and stuff like that. Let's go for Kenny Omega, the 6-star wrestler, the cleaner. He's just incredible. Like, last year's Wrestle Kingdom saw him in a 45 to 47 minute bout against Okada. Incredible match. Okada won. It was just so back and forth. No one knew who the winners were going to be. Like, it was just incredible to watch. Like, the Young Bucks come out and try and support Kenny, but couldn't. Like, that's how tough Okada was. Then they had a second match at Domination, 60-minute limit match for a winner to be decided. It went to the 60 minutes, so it ended in a draw. Incredible match, back and forth. I was expecting Kenny Omega to win that one because it was the returning match for him in New Japan. And then they had a third match, which I'm still yet to watch, but I think Kenny won that match. Incredible. And this is no disqualifications match between Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, I thought I'd like to point out. So not only is it going to be a 6-star match, it leaves the possibility of the Bullet Club turning on Kenny, because obviously the Young Bucks, this is my bold prediction, the Young Bucks are so WWE influenced, hence the Too Sweets, the Suck It's, just the way they act. They're very promo based. Could like turn on Kenny, like be like super kick, because if you watch Being the Elite like I do religiously, Kenny Omega's not been in it as much. It's always been Cody, Young Bucks and Marty.
Well, let's leave predictions for the new year because we're talking about 2017.
I'm just very excited and getting ahead of myself here.
Let's say how ironic it is that both two Canadians are fighting for the United States Heavyweight Championship.
What's wrong with that? Like,
it's just funny because Canadians don't ever get their own belt.
I'm pretty sure they do. They have that, that one belt,
That you can't mention.
The Maple Leaf belt, is it? I don't know.
Sure.
We'll
call it that.
Yeah, let's call it the good old Maple Leaf.
But anyway, the reason why this is getting such an up is because, one, it was so unexpected, and two, we never thought we'd see it. As Matt mentioned earlier, Chris Jericho has been Mr. WWE without being pushed down our throats like John Cena has. And Chris Jericho has always been someone that's seen amazing talent. And, it all started off with a bit of Twitter beef in which we thought, probably won't go anywhere, to actually him turning up to a New Japan Pro Wrestling event and actually attacking Kenny Omega, causing him to bleed. And when I say bleed, this was Kenny Omega actually bleeding himself. But for kayfabe purposes, Chris Jericho made Kenny Omega bleed with with Kenny's very own United States title.
Yeah.
Which was absolutely fantastic. It's a great video. You put it out on our social media, and it was just brilliant.
It was brutal. And then they followed it up with a press conference with Chris Jericho at the press conference. It looks like Chris Jericho is being pushed as the heel in this rivalry, where it's like Chris Jericho being the outside man. You'd think would be like, oh, he's so famous, like he'd be like the babyface, but no, going as the heel. Because the press conference, he ended up throwing a table at Kenny Omega and pushing like some journalists. So Chris Jericho is definitely being the heel in this situation, because I feel like Kenny and the Young Bucks and the rest of the Bullet Club are too loved over in Japan.
Yeah, and so we'll go from here to another low. Well, we actually this is I think we've spoke about a lot of highs so far, not a lot of lows. I mean,
Yeah.
we're just very glass half full here, and the reason why we go on to this is, as I said, Chris Jericho recognizes talent and recognizes storylines, and so I'm going to go on to James Ellsworth, and this brings us to the women's Money in the Bank match, and brings us to the other side of it, in which James Ellsworth winning the women's Money in the Bank, a man winning the women's Money in the Bank match for a woman, got everyone triggered.
Oh, everyone triggered. So,
including me.
I'm not gonna lie, like myself included, like it was so infuriating. I was so excited for this match. It was so historic. It was finally about to see like Natalia get whacked in the face with a ladder. It would have been brilliant. But got to see that, and then I was expecting one of the women to go up like Becky Lynch to go up the ladder, grab the briefcase, and win the thing. But good old James Ellsworth, good old JE over here, comes over and nope, pushes her off the ladder, climbs the ladder, wins it himself for Carmella.
The thing is, that wouldn't have really upset me, because it really would have started off just like a Carmella versus Becky Lynch beef would have been if James Ellsworth had just pushed Becky Lynch off and then grabbed Carmella and then just
Carmella
sort of pushed her up.
And then James Ellsworth was pushing everyone off the ropes as they were trying to get in.
Yeah. Like, at least that way you could say Carmella got the briefcase herself, but the fact that it was literally handed to her by a man is trigger central.
Like, feminists pissed off, men pissed off,
women pissed off. Everyone was pissed off. No, the fact that they even had to redo the match and he still got involved again is a massive low, and just goes to show how some people at the backstage in WWE, I'm not going to say who, Vince McMahon, sees women's wrestling, and it's something that shouldn't really have happened. But at the same time, I mean, he's not with the WWE anymore, so good luck James Ellsworth. He was definitely that fan who got to relive all of our dreams. I mean, I wouldn't even mind being in WWE for what was it, like a year and a half, 2 years that he was there?
It was a year and a half.
Getting to work with Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles, and he got a kiss off Carmella. Hello.
Yeah, maybe that's why her and Big Cass broke up.
Well, rumoured. I want to say rumoured. Even on our social media, we've said rumoured. Possibly rumoured. But we don't know about that
Let's
yet.
not talk about it. Until the facts come out, we can't talk about it.
No, true.
And
right, let's go through a few more lows.
Let me choose this next low. I want to go with I think Enzo Amore is a low this year.
I see you just type that in, because I didn't type that in.
I didn't just type it in. I typed it in like an hour ago. So
okay.
So
and I didn't even notice that was in there. But why do you think he's a low?
I just feel like he's wrong for the cruiserweight division. Like he's been thrown off of WWE tour buses. He's been very controversial. He's very disliked in the WWE locker room. And the universe aren't stupid. They know that. Hence the promos, like the Miz's promo on Enzo was incredible. I just think he's very wrong for the brand. Like,
but he's brought them more views.
I understand, but like WWE try and promote this positive brand. Like obviously, yeah, you get your bad guys and you get your good guys, but like I would say he's a negative for me. Like his attitude, it's just wrong. Like he's not a champion. I don't think.
He doesn't carry himself like a champion should. I get what you mean.
Even when he was with Big Cass, like even if they won the tag team championships, I think he would have disrespected the belt. Because if you follow Enzo on Instagram, like he carries that belt everywhere, like, and disrespects it every chance he gets.
True.
So like, if you do follow him on Instagram, you'll see him like take his belt to a nightclub. Like you see him wearing it on his shoulder whilst he like has a drink or something.
As long as he's not losing it, then.
Like yeah, but like the WWE universe, which is aimed at kids, like see him with a championship belt drinking. Like, it's just disrespectful, I think, to the belt.
Yes, heel move. It is true. I'll give you that. Yeah, sure, we put him in the lows. Some other people who I'm going to quickly go through to put in the lows for this year, and these are individual people, is Curt Hawkins. Yes, fair enough, he's just reached his 0 to 150, and that would make a really great storyline and would put him in the highs for me, but his lack of television time. The Canellises, obviously they came back trying to do this whole love gimmick, which really didn't go over, and I don't think we've actually seen them.
Maria's pregnant, so...
Well, and then obviously her other half, Mike, hasn't.
Well, yeah, because obviously, well, he's been on house shows. He's not been on TV. It's just.
But again, that's the thing. Yeah. Another thing, he should be on TV.
He should. He's incredible. Like, they signed them because they're incredible. They knew that, like, they're married and stuff. That, like, Maria's at the age where she needs to have a child now, or else it's too late. Like, WWE should have had a plan for Mike.
Yeah, true.
Because when Maria has the baby, like, that's when they'll come out with his plan, and then he can't miss any time. True.
Right, some other wrestlers that are in there, or actually, should I just say people that are in there. Bray Wyatt's win rate this year. Obviously, yes, he won the Elimination Chamber and got the Heavyweight Championship. However, since then, I mean, he was in that really weird feud with Randy Orton, in which
Randall.
you know the soul of Sister Abigail was burnt, and then suddenly she came back when he went to face Finn Balor, and then he got ill and then come back, and we've just completely forgot about Sister Abigail unless it's his finisher. So he's a low for this year.
Yep.
Booker T, I'm sorry, I don't care if anyone says that they like him. Booker T is the worst commentator in wrestling I have ever heard.
Thank you.
And he flip-flops so much, and he makes comments in which Michael Cole and Corey Graves call him out on, and he doesn't even know himself. And it annoys me so much because it distracts me away from the wrestling.
Although it's like Corey Graves telling Byron Saxton to shut up every 20 seconds. It's hilarious, though.
But at the same time, like, that I can get behind because that's Corey's beef. But Booker T is just a horrible commentator. He is the worst commentator. I would rather, in fact, probably have Rhino and what's his name? I can't remember his name now. In tag team with him. Heath Slater.
Quite ashamed of you right now.
Fully be commentators for the whole show rather than have Booker T anywhere near it.
WWE should have as a commentator again.
A woman.
CM Punk.
That would be fantastic. That would be.
I miss his commentating.
Okay, something that I definitely think should happen in 2018, and I'm only going to touch over this quickly because we are trying to keep the highs and lows of 2017, is for women's matches, or at least in perspective of women's pay-per-view matches, there should be a female commentator.
Oh yes, for sure. Renee Young has been NXT commentator before. Stick her out there. She knows what she's doing. She's incredible. Like, they're trying to touch on this women's revolution thing, and yeah, you've got Michael Cole there every night. Like, there's been rumours of Michael Cole trying to step back from commentating as such, so he can pass the baton on to the next generation of commentators, and
he is just trying to do a JR, isn't he?
No, he wants to move more into a producer role. He's stated in the past.
Which is what JR did.
Yeah, but I reckon Michael Cole would suit it. Like, as much as I love his commentating, he would suit that role a lot. But
to be fair, the more Michael Cole has been on TV, the more we've hated him. Look at his stuff that he did with Jerry Lawler. So I mean, we'll leave that one there because again, we'll do predictions for 2018 of what we want to happen in 2018.
Corey Graves versus Byron Saxton, please.
Yeah, why not? Some more lows just before we end on a few of our highs. Jason Jordan as Kurt Angle's son. The storyline to start with just really annoyed me and I hated it. Worked out better now, fair enough. But Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker, well, retiring again in quotation marks or hyphen marks or whatever it is, at WrestleMania was one moment where I just kind of think Roman Reigns is being pushed down our throats way too much now and shouldn't have been the person to retire The Undertaker. again, all in quotation marks, because we know that he's coming back for Raw 25th anniversary.
Yeah. Which arena do you reckon he's going to turn up at? Manhattan Center or Barclays?
Barclays.
I reckon both. I reckon he's going to make an appearance at Manhattan Center at the beginning of the night and then get a helicopter ride over to Barclays and chokeslam the hell out of the Intercontinental Champion.
Just chokeslam everyone. Why not? No, but that would be the best thing to happen in 2018. So as we were just talking about WrestleMania, let's talk about some of our highs. And one major high for me is the return of the Hardys. It gives me goosebumps every single time in which you see the New Day up on the ramp. You think they're going to be the guys to join in. Obviously, this was before the Superstar switch-up, in which they go over and speak and go, "We have a new champion, we have a new contestant coming in," and everyone's like, "Hoo hoo hoo!" It's like the Hardy Boys music hits, and I'm like, "Oh my god!
By God, JR, by God!
By God, as God is my witness, Jeff Hardy has just been broken in half."
Yeah.
In which he's still got it. He's obviously injured now, but it's brought us woken Matt Hardy from obviously this time around instead of broken, so he can have it as his own, and it's just been absolutely amazing so far. And a massive high for me was the Hardys' return.
Fair enough. My one of my highs is you ever heard of the Superstar Vacant?
We'll get onto that at the end.
Oh,
we'll get
come
onto
on.
Vacant at
You
the
can't
end.
leave,
We'll get onto
like,
Vacant.
I'm
No,
trying.
we will. We will. We'll do Vacant
We're
at the
near
end.
the end
We're
now.
We're coming towards the end, but I just really want to quickly get in Kerrie's video of her highs and lows of this year. One of our contributors to Run-inWrestling. If you want to check out Kerrie's content that she's just put out for us, actually, I don't think it's out yet. It's coming out by the time this podcast is out. It's going to be out, but it's not out from the time of recording, which is her fantasy booking on Carmella for 2018. I did one about Finn Balor in the Royal Rumble because there was that whole fiasco about him not being in the Royal Rumble because he's not over enough according to Vince McMahon. So if you want to go check her stuff out, it's all over our social media. Probably by the time this podcast is out, just go search for it, Run-inWrestling, and it's about Carmella. It involves her Money in the Bank briefcase, her at the Women's Royal Rumble, and her and Big Cass. So go check that out. This is Kerrie's highs and lows of 2017.
My first high point of 2017 was the Chris Jericho Kevin Owens Festival of Friendship, the event that Chris Jericho put on for Kevin Owens to celebrate his friendship, and Owens repaid him by presenting him with his very own list with Jericho's name at the top and attacked him, basically. It was a genius way of splitting the two up. I really enjoyed the segment. I used to enjoy them two together, so it was just a genius way of saying this is the end, and it was just so entertaining to watch as well on top of that. So I really enjoyed that one. The other high point I could have gone for KO Goldberg at Fastlane, but I decided to go for Goldberg eliminating Brock Lesnar from the Royal Rumble. I just thought it was a really special moment. Everybody thought Brock had the WrestleMania title shot summed up, and that was going to be it. It was all his. And everyone thought that obviously he was going to get revenge for Survivor Series, but it just wasn't to be. He came into the ring, and obviously Goldberg followed him. And pretty much that's it. Within a minute or so, he was literally gone. He was eliminated. That was the end. So I really enjoyed that moment. The things that I didn't enjoy so much, firstly, was the Bayley This Is Your Life segment by Alexa Bliss. The WWE had already buried Bayley. She'd lost the titles to Alexa. There was absolutely no point to it whatsoever. It was just a case of trying to squash her, but it didn't do any good for either of their images. And also, it just wasn't very well acted. Like on stage, it dragged on. Nobody enjoyed it, and the ratings even showed that as well. So it just wasn't very good. Real low point for Raw this year. My other low point I went for was the House of Horrors match between Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. Whilst the rivalry between them two rumbled on for quite a long time, that match had so much more potential to be better than it was, but it just wasn't. All it was Randy Orton walking around slightly scary looking house that just wasn't very well lit, so nobody could see what was happening, and just literally getting attacked by Bray Wyatt every 3 to 5 minutes. And it just wasn't a very good segment. It had so much more potential to be better and to obviously end the rivalry between them both, but WWE just didn't seem to take that chance to make it that much better. Anyway, those are my low and high points this year. Running Wrestling. Happy New Year, and hope you agree. But if you don't, let me know.
Thank you very much, Kerrie, for contributing. And if you want to contribute to our next lot of videos, just check out our social media. We will be putting out saying that we want you guys to get involved. It'll probably just mean sending us like a 1 or 2 minute video to runninwrestling@gmail.com. But yes, let's hear.
Where did you find Kerrie, by the way? Just out of interest,
Yes, we get it. Kerrie's my girlfriend, and but she's very much a big wrestling fan, and her writing for her blog is fantastic, if I do say so myself. She did have a blog previously in which she ended up deleting, which got views of up to 300,000. So don't just take my word for it, take on the figures as well. So let's move on to what you want to talk about.
Finally, Vacant.
Vacant.
Oh, such a good wrestler. Can we all agree Vacant is a good wrestler here? Cool. Vacant is actually now the current US champion. Isn't that lovely of it? That it's and plus it's I want to say it's the first gender neutral champion WWE have ever had as well. So current United States champion, it's 42nd reign as United States champion. He's 11-time WWE champion, a 1-time WWE Universal champion, an 18-time WWE World Heavyweight champion, a 10-time Intercontinental champion, 3-time Women's champion, 1-time Divas champ, 8-time Tag Team champ, and 2-time NXT Women's champ. Whew, what a reign. What a few reigns this boy's had.
Definitely. This gender neutral
person.
Definitely should be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
2018. Let's hashtag it.
Get it there.
Vacant for Hall of Fame. HOF.
There we go. Get Curt Hawkins. Do something with him. Get Curt Hawkins to walk up there in a morph suit, a plain black morph suit with a question mark over the face, and say nothing. Yeah, and just hold every title and then just say nothing.
It'd be like Santina Morella and Santina Morella holding championships.
Santino and Santina Morella.
I did say Santina.
Oh, it sounded like you just said the exact same word.
We play it.
You got to put the emphasis and or.
Look, I'm from Nottingham. There's a very limited amount of words that we're known for.
Sure. I don't get what your point was.
I
know what you mean.
had the word,
I know what you mean.
but I couldn't remember it.
I know what you mean. So right, we're gonna finish it there because I think we're just coming up to
Who was your
the
favourite wrestler of 2017?
50-minute mark. Actually, do you know what? We didn't do what we did in the last one.
Well,
and that was our favourite wrestlers of this year.
That's why I just asked. Who is your favourite wrestler of 2017?
Anyways, mine's actually Seth Rollins, hence why I've got his shirt on at the moment. You're going to see that on our thumbnail because both me and Matt are going to take photos of either us doing a high or a low. And so that's Seth Rollins.
I'll definitely take a picture of me high if you want.
No, we don't endorse that here on Running Wrestling.
Surprise drug tests, 30-day suspension.
30 days suspension from us, and you might have to vacate your title. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, the first ever RIW champion, right here. You can follow me on my social media. RIW champion, right here. That's me. You can follow me on Twitter, where my bio says that I'm the first ever RIW champion as well. The next time I'm defending it is at Royal Rumble, but my Twitter handle is at Matthew Afton. If you just wanna follow your first ever RIW champion. Just saying.
First ever?
Best ever.
First ever.
First ever,
right,
best
so
ever.
As I was before, I was rudely interrupted by our heel presenter for this podcast. Mine is Seth Rollins. I wasn't a really big fan of his work in 2016. Obviously, he got injured.
2016?
16, because I went to say 17, but I tried to change it to 16. So 16, because obviously he had help from obviously Triple H, Kane, and everyone there. Whereas in 2017, he's had a massive year, obviously winning titles, defeating Triple H, and joining back with the Shields, because him and Dean getting back together was probably the best 4 weeks spread out between them, where you was like, will they, won't they, in which it was just absolutely fantastic. Who is yours, Matt?
The Miz. Just excuse the pun, because he was absolutely awesome this year. I mentioned earlier in the podcast his promo on Enzo was just went in on Enzo. His video promos on Baron Corbin as well. His promos have been spectacular. He's been following up everything he's said. Like, he is one of the best wrestlers. He can go toe to toe with anyone and everyone. Like, his stuff with Daniel Bryan earlier this year, we were thinking he was going to have a match with Daniel Bryan, but that didn't happen. And we were all like, okay, we understand why, because he's retired. But he's just been absolutely brilliant. Like, just everything he's done this year, just been spot on.
And obviously was Rolling Stone's magazine Wrestler of the Year as well, so well done to The Miz for that. Not only are you Rolling Stone's favourite Wrestler of the Year, but more importantly, you're one of the favourite ones here at Run-inWrestling.
I hope you win back your ICW Intercontinental Championship, Miz.
ICW.
No, I hope you win your IC title, Miz.
If you want to get involved with us, check out our socials. It is just Run-inWrestling, all one word, on Facebook, Twitter, I missed that one, Instagram. So, you said it last time. You can do it again if you want.
We've got MySpace as well.
Bebo. MSN.
Oh, don't get me started on MSN.
If you do want to email us as well, whether you just have opinions or whether you want to comment on any of our videos, it is just runninwrestling@gmail.com. We are looking to expand Run-inWrestling because we're hoping to get people over in America, North America, South America, wherever you are from. If you're listening and want to be a contributor to our channel or to our social medias, it will be fantastic to have you on board, because unfortunately we're living in UK time and everything comes out US time, which isn't great for our sleeping patterns.
Yeah, even though our sleeping patterns aren't great anyway.
No, they're not anyway. Definitely not for our jobs. You know, you working at the bar, me working in television, they're 24-hour jobs.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to get involved, you can also follow me on social media because you gave yours away.
Yeah, but he's not a champion though, so why would you?
Well, but it was my idea to do all this, so they could follow me. At Ryan Beak. Beak is Beake, and if you don't know how to spell Ryan, then you're an idiot. So that's my heel part of this podcast.
I just want to ask before we go off the air. Since you've just said it was your idea for all of this, where is my belt?
Your belt will be unveiled at the Royal Rumble, and you will have it. We'll try and Photoshop it onto a photo of you as well before you defend it at Royal Rumble.
It's best, or else I'll walk out.
Walk out of the company without the belt. You'll do a CM Punk without the belt.
No, I'll do a Dolph Ziggler. I'll walk out with I'll put the belt in the middle of the ring and walk out.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's understandable.
Yeah.
Except we still don't know why he did that, but you have a reason to. So yours makes more sense at the moment. Okay, well, as I said, thanks for listening to us. We don't know where we're going to upload this to yet. Hopefully YouTube, SoundCloud, and other places. Hopefully we'll be getting a podcast license soon. Don't know yet, but let us know in the comments down below what you think, what we should talk about, or just want to introduce yourselves. It's at Run-inWrestling everywhere, probably going to be the same on SoundCloud, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And from us, we need a goodbye, but we haven't figured one out yet.
1, 2, 3, and we're out of here.